And so welcome to this week's Sydney Racing preview. Thanks to Top Sport, and I'm joined as usual by Mark Rhoden. How are you, Mark?
Yeah, not too bad, Mark. Still in this strange sort of twilight zone where racing's continuing and nothing else is, but that's a good thing for us anyway.
Yeah, it is. And tomorrow is quite a big one. Day one of the championships. So we've got the 4 Group 1s, including the TJ and the Doncaster. So a really high quality meeting.
It certainly is. It is a bit of a strange feeling. There's going to be no crowd, of course, but the racing's still pretty high quality. The only thing we're missing is the visiting jockeys, really, because of the sort of quarantine restrictions. We've only got the pool of the Sydney Metro jockeys, but still pretty high class racing, and sure to be a good day.
Yeah, okay. We might just as we're saying, we'll have a bit of a look at the Group 1 races. There's 4 of them tomorrow, starting with race 6, which is the Sires. Just looking at Top Sports market, Mama Reagan $3.10 from Prague at $8, AIM $9, and Old Kirk $9. How's your market look at this stage?
Similar group of horses. I'm a bit longer Prague, or not much longer. Yeah, I've got Mama Reagan on top, but I don't think it's value at the current market price. He hasn't done anything wrong yet by any means, and he's only had the 2 starts, so he's still on the up. The slight niggle for me is that he certainly came through in the best round in the Golden Slipper. You know, drew inside and did no work and came up in the right part of the track, so he might have been a little bit flattered. Against that, he's going to get every chance again, so I can see why he's top pick. I don't want to take too short a price, though. Having said that, the market is pretty right to me. I thought AM and Old Kirk will be suited up to 1400. Old Kirk's already run at 1400. It was unluckily beaten in the Victorian Sires last start and has trialled really well in Sydney since. But they're around their right prices, and considering I've got Mama Reagan clearly on top, I can't really bring myself to back them either. Larimer Street's kind of an interesting runner, but I've got him marked double figures anyway. He won a much weaker race last time, but was pretty dominant. And then, I don't really have any major differences with the market in this race. I do have Mama Reagan on top of 2 short, so it's at this stage looking like a no-bet race for me.
No worries. Race 7's the Group 1 Derby over the 2400. So for Top Sport, Castelvecchio $2.50 favourite at the moment. It looks to have been backed a bit already. From Shadow Hero at $4.60 and Warning at $5.
Yeah, they're the big guns. They've been the ones at the up near the top of betting all summer and autumn. No surprise to see them there again. I assume Castelvecchio will be ridden with a bit of intent again. Brilliant ride, Craig Williams from the inside barrier last time, or close to the inside. Put him right in the race and he dominated. Different barrier draw here. He's drawn 9 of the 12. So he's going to have a little bit of work to do. I assume they'll press on though and put him in the race. He's shortened again this morning, Castelvecchio. Again, 2 short for me. I've got him around 330 at this stage. There's better than 250 around there, but that seems to be the way the market's heading, so he doesn't look like it'll be a bet for me. Shadow Hero and Warning. Shadow Hero started clear favourite against Castelvecchio last time. He's not really proven at 2400 yet. Well, obviously he isn't. Not that many of them are outside of Warning. And his best runs so far have been on dry. So, I mean, his sort of SP profile certainly makes him worthy of respect. There's a couple of question marks for me. I'm sure Warning's going to be at his peak tomorrow, and the wet track, I'm assuming, of course, we're going to get plenty of rain tonight. That's what's forecast. I'm assuming it's going to get into the heady range. So if that eventuates, that'll suit him. He's proven on it. The one I'll probably end up backing, and again, this is assuming we get into the heavy range, is Quick Thinker. The Turek Stakes has been the great form reference for the Derby in recent years. That on its own isn't enough to make him a bet, but I just think if it becomes a really testing 2400 on a wet track. The fact that he A, loves the wet, and B, is on the 7-day backup could really be in his favour at the end of a slogging 2400 if that's the way it eventuates, and he's probably worth a little bit of a play at around $10.
Yeah, $10 for top sport at the moment.
Yeah, that's a good price with his wet track ability and his fitness edge. So he'd be he's certainly not top pick for me, but he'd be the bet at this stage.
So Castelvecchio on top, but yeah, probably a bit short at the moment.
Bit short. I'd probably want about 350 to bet there. Yep. Certainly not one. I couldn't see him drifting from 250 to 350 between now and 9 o'clock tomorrow, so he's certainly not going to be an early bet.
Yeah, loses Williams, but J Mac not a bad to jump on.
Yeah, I mean, I, even though it is J Mac, I don't think the jockey change is ideal. He's absolutely flown for C Williams in the 2 starts for him, but
yeah,
hand's been forced, and if anyone's going to take them out, he's the guy you'd want.
Yeah, absolutely. Race 8's the Group 1 TJ Smith, the sprint over the 1200. Absolutely cracking field here. Just looking at the top sports market, Nature Strip's favourite into $3.60 now from Bivouac. It's in for $4.80. Loving Gabby at 7, Santana Lane at 7, and Piarata at 8.
Yeah, it is a great race. It's virtually the Everest without the imaginary extra 12 million, I suppose. It's an identical field as the Everest run at this time of year. Agreed with the main chances. I've got that silly back of the envelope thing about backing Nature Strip at over $3, so he qualifies on that. He's yet to win or really even put 2 good runs in a row together since I got him, which concerns me. Look, if he goes for his best,
he's been 4th, 1st, 4th, 1st, 4th, 1st.
Yeah. That's another pattern for him, isn't it? It's
certainly not an each way bet.
No, it's not an each way bet. Yeah, 360 is not a bad price. I've got him about 420. And he's one of those horses, could come out and win by 6, and you say, oh, he should have been odds on, but I don't know. The one I want to back is Santa Ana Lane. As I've said in these previews and some of the review shows I've done, I'm a huge fan of the Anthony Friedman stable. I think he's, in terms of getting a horse to peak on his day, and as a conditioner, I think he's the best in the country. And he's done it prep after prep after prep with this horse. He had him absolutely cherry ripe in the Everest last spring, and he just had a little bit of a checkered passage and was then second to Yes, who absolutely flew that day. So if he can pull out a run in that sort of range, he's going to be right in this. Wet track, no problem. Prefer him drawn middle than 2, but look, at $7 is a great price for a horse as good as he is. Won this last year on a wet track. Drew middle and came down the middle that day, so that was a little bit different. But his best puts him right in this, and I'm sure he's going to be at his peak, and I'm keen to be on at the price. People like a great chance, just ridden too warm and out of his comfort zone due to the track pattern at Moonee Valley last start. They had to try something, because if he'd been ridden cold from Barrier 1, he would probably never got out. So they tried something for the track pattern that didn't work. I think with a quieter eye here, he's a great chance. Market hasn't missed him at 480 though. And Piarata's... I
was going to say, does he maybe seem a little bit short?
I've got him about 550, so he's not outrageously short, but not a bet. I've got him picked behind Nature Strip and Centre and Lane at about 550. So I don't think it's an insanely short price, but it's certainly not a bet. He was absolutely outstanding in the Newmarket to start before last, in which I'm happy to make an excuse for him. So he's a definite chance. Wet track pretty good too. Piarata on the wet and drawn middle, I think, is a good setup. And at $8, he's getting backable. So I'll just keep an eye on that price between now and tomorrow morning, and he might be a small bet in the race as well as Santa Ana Lane. Loving Gabby's also in the market. Brilliant ride. Williams last start, really worried Bivouac out of it. Bit of a different setup here with the likes of Nature Strip in the race and on the wet. So yeah, I think she's probably the unders in the race, if anything. And away from that, yeah, no, none of the real roughies I want to be on. But yeah, it is a great race, and yeah, to be getting $7 about a an established champion sprinter like Sandra Lane, I think is fantastic. But it does show what a good race it is.
Good stuff. All right, and race 9's the last of the Group 1. It's the Doncaster, and a wide open Doncaster as they can be.
Oh yeah.
Top sport at $7.50 the field. So Brandenburg and Melody Bell at $7.50 from Shared Ambition and Super Seth at 10. How does your market look? Anything shorter than that?
No, I have Brandenburg on top at about that. And I must admit I haven't actually looked at this market this morning. So they've given Brandenburg a little. Yes, they have. So it was into a short of $6 last night, and they've landed out again to $7.50, which is getting very close to backable for me. Soft track won't be a problem. Map looks great. Same setup as last year for Brutal. Brandenburg's probably not quite as good a horse as Brutal certainly was at that stage, but fit in form, 3-year-old with no weight. It's a good recipe for this race. So he's got to be top pick. I was a bit worried he's going to be around the $5.56 range last night, and I thought, well, that's a bit short. But if he's going to hang around this price, he might well be a bet. He's certainly my top pick. Melody Bell is a great chance. Absolutely loves the wet, so the wetter the better for her. Not well weighted with 57, but it doesn't rule her out. She's probably a right price, or a bit short at $7.50 for me. I have a third pick. 2, I'll definitely be backing at bigger odds. A couple of fit wet trackers in Cascadian and Yulong Prince. Cascadian, I'm a bit worried we'll get a long way back, but at 20 plus to 1, or around $20 anyway, I'm happy to.
Yeah, Cascadian 19 at the moment with Top Sport, and Yulong Prince 21.
Yeah, both definitely worth a gamble at those odds. Both wet trackers, both fit and in form. Yulong Prince maps a bit better than Cascadian, but yeah, I couldn't let them win without me at those sort of prices, so definitely on them. Plenty of other chances in the race, obviously. I'm going out to Imaging, who is a wet tracker, obviously. Super Seth was given no chance with the tactics last start. Not overly well weighted for a 3-year-old with 55, but a chance. Shared Ambition. What price is he? Oh, he's getting out a bit now, isn't he? He was shorter than that.
Yeah, $10 at the moment. Yep.
Yeah, he was single figures. I like what they're trying to do with him. He's probably more a 2,000 metres and beyond horse, but that Waller's won Doncasters with that sort of horse before. They put the blinkers on him. Jockey change, not great. I'd expect him to drift a little bit more, actually. Then you're out to the likes of Colding, Mr. Seawolf. Yeah, it's not the highest class Doncaster we've ever seen, but it's a really good, solid, competitive race. And as I mentioned, I found a couple of bets in it. And possibly, if Brandenburg gets any bigger, we'll be on him as well.
Yeah, I did want to ask you about Colding. Over the course, he's won the Golden Eagle, and I think he won the Epsom as well over the course, but hasn't really fired this prep. Where's he at, in your opinion?
It's hard to know. I thought he was pretty plain in the All-Star Mile. Admittedly, he might be better right-handed, so I've been a bit forgiving of him. But he did have a great spring last spring. But you look at it, he won the Epsom with 50.5, and he's really paid the penalty for that. He's got 57 now, so with the 57 under the handicap conditions, his best might not be good enough to win. I expect him to improve of his Melbourne form, but it still might not be enough now he's jumped up so sharply in the weights.
Good stuff. All right, thanks for that, Mark. Well, we look forward to tomorrow. So, any other meetings this weekend you'll be having a look at?
Hawkesbury tomorrow is the provincial. Just back to a stock standard provincial. We've had all the provincial qualifiers in recent weeks, which have added interest. But I've only had a quick look so far, but the later races in the card look pretty deep, so there might be something there. And then we've got a provincial on Tuesday is the next one. I think it's Kembla, but yeah, there's a Tuesday provincial anyway. So again, just saying this every week, fingers crossed that racing can press on through this difficult time, but everything's going well so far. Either way, we're going to have a great day's racing tomorrow, and hopefully can push on into next week as well.
Good stuff. All right, look forward to seeing your bets and your markets tomorrow. We'll catch you on Monday for a review.
Excellent. No worries. Talk to you then.
Cheers.